Hi, my name is Sarah Hipwell. In this Photoshop tutorial, I will show you a technique I use to achieve a more realistic look to these images of toy animals by using Motion Blur and the Smudge Tool to create a furry effect. Before I dive straight into this tutorial, I want to quickly go through the different before and after stages in how I achieved the final image. Here I have the final image, but if we go to the original shot, which was straight out of the camera, this is a raw file. I do my basic edits in Adobe Camera Raw. I then brought the image into Photoshop where I applied a levels adjustment. I did some dodge and burning. I then gave the fox a red eye, just to give the illusion of a startled animal. I then applied motion blur on the body and the tail of the fox. I then added hairs using the smudge tool. I'm just going to zoom in now to show you this. Finally, I added topaz adjust to the overall image. So let's begin. I made two separate selections of the fox, the body and the tail, using the quick selection tool, and saved them. You can see them here in the channels panel, the fox tail and the fox body. Go up to the main menu, go select, load selection, and where it has channel, hit the arrow keys to the right and choose fox body. Click OK and you'll see the marching ants. I'm now going to put this on its own layer. Hit Command J on a Mac or Control J on a PC. I'm now going to convert this layer to a smart object by right clicking on it and go down to Convert to a Smart Object. And you'll see a little icon appear in the thumbnail. Go back up to the main menu, go to Filter, Blur, Motion Blur. The reason I chose Motion Blur is that I want to be able to change the angle and the intensity of the effect. So for the fox's body, I chose 45 as the angle and 34 for the intensity. Click OK and you can see the effect has been applied. Now I don't want the effect applied to the eyes or parts of the face, so I want to mask away the area around the eye and the overspill around the nose. So clicking on the layer mask, select your brush, make sure your foreground color is set to black. Using the bracket keys to make your brush smaller or larger, I'm going to paint away the effect over the eye and around the nose area, and maybe up around the ear. I wouldn't worry too much about this because I'm going to be adding hairs. Zooming back out. For the fox's tail, I chose 76 degrees as the angle and a distance of 28 pixels. If you go to the Tools panel, and by default, the Blur tool appears in the panel. Click on that and the flyout menu appears and go down to the Smudge tool. I chose the Dune Grass brush, which is 112 in your presets. Hit the brushes icon to the right and this brings up your brushes panel. I'm going to change the roundness of the brush, not have it as round, say about 68. And then I'm going to, as I go around the outline of the fox, I'll be changing the direction. Spacing, I'll leave the spacing at 25%. And we go around. Now this is the fun bit because you can do as little or as much depending on the effect you want. But as you can see, kind of dragging it up a little bit. Changing the direction as you go around. Love this tool, it's great. One last thing, I'm going to select the blur tool and I'm just going to go over the base of the hairs. Cool. Here's before, here's after, here's before, here's after. And finally I added topaz effect to enhance the overall image. Thanks for watching.